guys. Welcome back to Ignorant Sports Talk. I am your moderator and host, Philip. I'm here with the homies. Today's episode, we got Jack on board. We got Panky on board. We got Figs over there trying to move up to Canada.
Please move up to Canada. Please.
Listen, man, I'm trying to get that passport right now.
And we
Get
got
out of Trump land, bro.
And we got the homie Jay driving around, about to hit
You're
work.
right.
So, fellas, NBA training camp has started since it's July. First things first, earlier before training camp, we saw a couple players with new body transformations. We got Gasol losing weight. Now he looks like a Barcelona FC soccer player. We got James Harden losing some weight, and we got Nikola Jokic losing some weight as well. Question is, how will the weight loss affect each player's play?
I don't necessarily agree with the weight loss, simply because as an athlete, when you're used to carrying around a certain physique or a certain body type, such a drastic change in that will affect your game, whether we want to admit that or not. Like, Phil, you and I, you can attest to the fact that, like, when you were in high school and you were like a $190 and you could move laterally, like your agility was up, whatever. Putting on a lot of weight is dangerous because you lose a lot of agility, you lose a lot of speed, you lose a lot of explosiveness, right?
Yeah.
But when your game play is centered around the opposite, where you're a big man and you rely on the physical dominance, your physical presence to be effective, you lose all that weight. Now you're no longer that physical presence. You know what I mean? Like, do you guys remember when Carmelo Anthony lost all that weight? It didn't really do a whole lot for him. He lost a lot of weight, and we were like, okay, sure. But it wasn't like he came out all of a sudden falling out of control. It was like, nigga, you lost weight, but you still trying to play mid-range post-up basketball, and it's not working. So now, like, why? Marc Gasol lost all that weight, but you're a big man. Why do you need to lose weight? Why do you need to look like Giannis to be effective? You're a big man. Be big. I just don't agree with it. That's my take.
Well, in the case for Gasol, I think it has to do with, like, the Raptors needing him more on the court for his cardio, like to improve his cardio because of how lack of depth they have at the five, especially as the position has evolved so much where you need to be more on your feet and more nimble, and Gasol was one of the more nimble guys there.
And he's already good.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe let's just use a matchup with Embiid, for example. If he goes up against Embiid again, maybe Embiid is gonna have a bigger weight advantage now. But I think if Gasol has improved his cardio along with his weight loss, I think he'll be able to run circles around Embiid and, like, keep him be more up in his face and be able to keep him even keel. In Harden's case, I think it's the same thing, because the whole thing about Harden is that, like, he'll drop 60, but then they'll lose by like 3 because he gasses out towards the end of a quarter, or he'll gas out in the playoffs and stuff like that. Jokic is a more interesting one. I don't know how that's really going to affect his game because I don't watch enough Nuggets basketball. But I do see where they're coming from, and I have to imagine that each of the coaching staffs have plans in place for these transformations. It's not like it's a surprise to them, I wouldn't imagine. I don't think Nick Nurse is like, oh my God, Mark, you just dropped 20 pounds? Why? Why would you do that? They definitely know what they're doing.
I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, in Gasol's case, I think it could be a good thing, and I think it could be a bad thing. Like you said, Panky, he'll probably be able to play better perimeter defense. You know what I mean? Like, with teams that stretch you out with their five, I think he'll be able to close out on threes a little better. But as far as down in the post, when you dealing with dogs like Joel Embiid and Anthony Davis, you know what I mean? And even Rudy Gobert, you know what I mean? I feel like that's going to hurt him, you know what I mean? Because his size actually helped him be more of a interior defensive presence, you know what I mean? So losing that weight, it remains to be seen if he's gonna be that same force down there.
He could be stronger too. Like, I'm not the fitness expert like you guys are, but he could have lost the weight, but he also could be stronger than he has been before as well.
Oh, definitely.
If it gets shifted in the right way.
Definitely.
Because like Anthony Davis isn't. I mean, he is big, but like he's not like the traditional like big man for his weight class and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's unique. He's unique to begin with, but like, I guess like with anything, it remains to be seen on the court. If like it turns into actual muscle and not just losing however many pounds he lost.
Well, here's the thing, right? So even when you think about weight loss in general, in that regard, Phil, you can attest to this too, and Jack, you know about this. Figgy, you know about this. Panky, maybe you will, maybe you won't. But muscle mass is more dense than fat mass, right? So if I'm an NBA player and I'm already strong, like we can say that Marc Gasol was already strong.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
But then he comes back and he's 20, 25 pounds lighter. Then for me to turn around and say, but now he's stronger, it's kind of like, where's the evidence of that? Like, was he that fat that he could afford to lose 25 pounds and still gain more muscle mass? I don't see that being the case. I mean, like, you lose 25 pounds as an athlete who's already on the court constantly, who's already working out as a lifestyle. Like, that's your livelihood. Exercise is your life. He's already strong. Mm-hmm. So now you lose 25 pounds. It's like, I don't think you got stronger. I think you just lost weight. You had to have lost muscle mass to lose that much weight in that kind of frame. Now, you could call it a trade-off. Huh?
Don't worry about Marky, man. Marky's gonna be fine.
Listen, if anybody knows, everybody knows. Anybody knows me knows that I think Marc Gasol is the greatest center in the league. AD can shove it, Boogie can shove it, Gobert can shove it, Cat can shove it.
Everyone that knows me also knows that I've always thought that Marc Gasol is the greatest center in the world.
No, don't just to yourself. Don't do it.
Jack, I'm gonna smack the hell out you, bro. I'm gonna slap you straight out of Lithuania, son.
All right, so I'm gonna stop you all right there to tell you that his brother was way fucking better than him. But anyway, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think you guys are underselling this whole thing, man. These are massive changes that are gonna have massive changes here. Marc Gasol is gonna come in and be the Marc Gasol of old. He's gonna put up 30-12 through the playoffs, 30-12, and what I mean by that is 30 minutes and 12 points. He's going to just be absolute.
I was about to say the Kool-Aid's strong there. My God.
Oh my God, man! 30-12. I got shook for a second.
Jokic is gonna like Nate Robinson, just hops on hops. And the thing is that with Harden, I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried with Harden because if Harden has lost weight, the thing is though, if Harden has lost weight, that means he hasn't been at the strip club, and we know he hasn't been at the strip club. This worries me. Is he going to be in his right mind state? Is he going to have that focus? Like
there are drive-through ones. There are drive-through ones. So maybe he's been doing that.
Oh man!
First of all, drive-through strip club. I'm offended. I'm appalled by your knowledge.
But here's the thing. You don't need the strip club to be successful. You know, case in point, Jamal Murray. You know what I mean?
Oh no!
All you need is an Instagram live, and you set, my bro.
You know what I mean? So he'll be fine. Don't worry about Harden.
Going back to Mark quickly, it could be also an injury prevention thing because he's been banged up quite a bit the past couple of, like in Toronto at the very least. He's been banged up quite a bit, so maybe that's also part of his.
Yeah, especially kind of like this season. He got like before, what was that earlier in the season? He had an injury. Was out a little bit. They kind of kept him out longer than some people thought he should have been. Came back.
Injury.
Yeah, a calf injury. Came back, balled out, and then pandemic happened. So
you know what? If that be the case, that's fine. Zion needs to lose 20 pounds too.
Oh, you guys haven't seen? You guys
He's looked
haven't
good.
seen
Yo,
Zion?
the man
Hold
just
on.
looks like Bane from
Bro,
Batman.
Zion looks crazy right now. He
Yeah.
lost 20 pounds and
Oh,
then he
bet.
put on. No, he lost 25 pounds and then
Yeah.
he put on
I-
15 pounds of muscle. Yeah,
Yeah, he's.
that dude looks
Okay,
crazy.
but see, that's different. That's different in a sense where you look at someone like Zion. Mind you, I don't think he put on 15 pounds of muscle. I think he just got leaner and his muscle density or his composition changed.
Yeah,
Because for Zion to have put on 15 pounds of clean muscle mass in this
I mean,
short
it's been
amount of
4
time
months, bro.
is
It's been 4
nothing
months.
It's okay. So Phil, let me ask you this: how possible is it for a person to gain 15 pounds of clean, pure muscle mass in 4 months? I'm not saying it's impossible, but what's the likelihood of that happening?
That's
Likely-
120 days, bro. That's
Yeah,
a long time.
Also losing 25 pounds and then get.
Yeah,
Tell me what you think, bro.
the
I've
likelihood
lost
of
25
that
pounds
is-
in a month. I've done that before.
You can losing weight is not the problem. Gaining 15 pounds of muscle is not as easy as you. Oh, I gained 15 pounds of muscle. Yeah, no, you didn't. You gained 15 pounds. Of that 15 pounds, I'll say 4 pounds is clean, pure muscle mass.
All right,
The
so
rest
now
of it, water weight, additional, like that's a lot of muscle to gain, bro. I'm not with Zion. I'm not saying it's only 4 pounds, but 15 is a lot.
Here's the thing: he has professional NBA trainers. We don't. You know what I mean?
So?
I mean, for Zion's
I'm telling you
case,
right now, bro.
for Zion's
Yeah, nothing on me,
case,
bro.
let's say like in high school, he was already big enough in high school. Now let's say, again, he had a little bit more body fat than he would like. In high school and college already, right?
Mhm.
It kind of caught up to him in college with slight knee injury, and then preseason again, injury. And then I guess it's just for him losing that body fat percentage, right?
Mm-hmm.
It would have been kind of easier for him to gain a little bit of lean muscle if he had all that lean muscle under all that body fat already.
But that's not gaining new muscle. That's just changing the composition so that the muscle mass is more prominent, right? Like if he already had a lot of muscle mass underneath, what we could say is that okay, Zion had 100 pounds of fat mass and 100 pounds of muscle mass, and then he lost fat mass. Now we're like, oh well, he got more muscle mass. The scales have tipped. But does he now have 115 pounds of muscle mass? I don't think so.
I'm just a messenger. Don't shoot me.
I know. Hey, man, look, I'm just saying the reason that nigga look like Bane is because he lost all that fluff. He doesn't look like Barney anymore. That is perfectly fine.
Also, he's on a different timeline because he's a rookie, right? It's not like he's a dozen-year veteran like Gasol is or something like that. So it's different.
What is he, like 20, 21? What is he?
He has years ahead of him. All right. Switching gears.
He's 19.
Shit.
He turns 20 in 2 days.
His metabolism ain't even slowed down yet. Shit.
Yeah.
His balls ain't even dropped yet. Talking about metabolism. He's still a baby. You know?
Oh jeez.
All right. On that note,
ask his mama if he could spend $1 million.
Oh god.
Switching gears. What are your guys' thoughts on the NBA approving social messages for the back of NBA players' jerseys? And
don't let JR have a message. That's my Don't let JR have his own message. It's gonna say something reckless.
He's gonna be sponsored by Hennessy.
It's gonna say I thought we were up. That's exactly what it's
All right, so some of the approved messages for the backs of the jerseys are Black Lives Matter, say their names, vote, I can't breathe, justice, peace, equality, freedom. And there's probably another 15 here on this image I'm looking at. And what are your thoughts on, like, they're also going to be putting social justice statements on the court. Do you think it's a W for the NBA to bring more awareness to the fans watching at home?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's definitely a win.
The NBA has a humongous platform, and at this point, publicity is more valuable than anything else, just to get the message out there. And for a lot of young kids who might not be as involved in movements as they can be, if I'm a 10-year-old kid and I don't really understand what all the hype is about, all of a sudden I see Black Lives Matter on the back of LeBron James's jersey, I might think to myself, well, if LeBron is doing it, maybe there's something to. Maybe I should look into this for myself. These guys are role models, and I think it's very important for them to stand in that message and use their platform as a means to reach a different kind of audience, which for me would be a younger generation.
Exactly. Just educating those who don't know. Like,
Yeah,
everything's more accessible than they were back then. All kids got to do is just grab this and Google search, and then they're good to go. So again, it's a big W for a big sports organization as the NBA, because it's watched all around the world, different countries, even some countries who kind of still don't know why this is happening, or some people don't understand racism. I think eventually that the whole entire world will know, and this will bring more awareness to those who don't know.
yeah, absolutely.
Especially when well, it's LeBron's program, but I can't remember who else he has working on his voting initiative that he's been doing. His voting organization to get people to register and to know when different, not just presidential elections, but like when governors, senate races, anything like that, just getting people more active. So if he has that on his jersey, for example, that's gonna be huge for that particular initiative as well. Not just the big, like the standard ones that you mentioned, Phil. So other ways people can get involved with everything like that.
Yeah, it was just a short list. I'm sure there's a whole list that every NBA team has gotten of approved names, and we'll see them on the backs of everyone's jerseys.
The one with Spencer Dinwiddie's is a bit odd. I think it's Dinwiddie. Have you guys seen that one where he wants to put the U.S. dollar amount of the U.S. deficit on the back of his jersey?
Yeah,
it's really odd. Like I know he's big into like the business side of things and like investing and stuff like that, but it's a really interesting choice for that to be on the back of his uniform for Brooklyn.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling that. Not really feeling that. I feel like
okay, what message is he trying to present? That the U.S. is losing power? Like, I don't understand what he's trying to say.
Let me see if I can pull it up. If he was quoted on it, let me see. Spencer.
Because that's kind of it seems like it's just a reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's a teammate of Kyrie Irving, so what could we really expect?
Yeah, and also like Spencer Dinwiddie did test positive a couple.
I was about to say,
5 days ago.
For COVID,
yeah, so that could be that confusion kicking in. That's one of the symptoms.
Wow, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, even DeAndre Jordan tested positive.
Yeah, I saw that. I was tight.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's his. So he wants to put $26 trillion in the back of his jersey for the U.S. national debt. A lot of issues at this moment. I think the fact that the country is ironically, $26 trillion in debt is high on the list. Dinwiddie tweeted. He also followed up by saying, "Woke up at 4 a.m. to see that I'm getting lit up in the comments for talking about the global debt." He wrote, comments ranging from massive amounts of debt are good, which I disagree with, to it's not personal debt, brackets obviously, to it's a wasted platform, amongst others. So those I question, what is the purpose of putting a social issue on the back of the jersey? To inspire change, right? Considering that nobody opts out of the global financial system and the U.S. weaponized the dollar, that means you need leverage within the system.
Here's my thing. It's like, okay, I get what you're saying. The U.S., we're $26 trillion in debt. That's cool. But let's be real. When we want to put messages that are really going to affect change now, okay, so I have a choice between police brutality messages, social injustice messages and talking about the U.S. debt. Like, what has the better chance of being changed now? Like, you can put $26 trillion on the back of your jersey all you want. That ain't gonna change. You know, it's not gonna change the fact that we're $26 trillion in debt. Like, nobody's gonna look at that and be like, oh yeah, we need to fix this. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like it's a waste of a platform.
It is a waste of a platform.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you're the only dude that's like, you're the only one that's doing it. You know, if you have 15 to 20 high key players, you know, all saying the same thing, you know, defund the police, or, you know, justice and peace, or whatever, that's gonna speak a lot. That's gonna speak volumes to people in powerful positions. You got one dude who is the third option on the third worst team in the league saying that we broke. Okay, Spence. So why don't you put your salary towards the $26 million debt and be the change that you want to see?
I'm telling you, man, him and Kyrie had one too many drinks together, bro. Like, I really think that's what it
No,
is.
what had happened was Kyrie. So I actually read this. Kyrie went to the edge of the world and put his cup off the edge, and they got some of that flat Earth water, and they was drinking it. So that's what happened.
Well, Dinwiddie's going to be the number one option because Kyrie's not playing, KD's not playing, DeAndre has coronavirus right now. So
even Dinwiddie has coronavirus.
Oh yeah, Dinwiddie has it also. Dinwiddie has it also.
Right, it's all in the hands of Caris LeVert.
Oh man.
Yikes! So they're about to be the last team in the league. Okay,
This just in, Landry Shamet has tested positive for coronavirus.
Fuck the Clippers. I hope that whole team tests positive.
Clippers
that's
on
not
watch now.
nice, bro.
Listen,
That's aggressive.
listen. They're NBA players. They gonna survive. They got money. They gonna survive.
That's not nice.
I don't care.
Corona don't discriminate, bro.
Listen.
Corona with lime.
NBA
That's
players.
good.
Someone on the Lakers is gonna get it out because you said that.
Facts, like,
Hey,
how does that risk, bro? They share a facility.
Listen, Dwight Howard and Avery Bradley. Sure, go ahead. You guys can get it. That's cool.
You're playing with fire there, my friend. I know.
Listen, nah, I'm just talking shit. Don't. You know what I mean?
Well,
listen,
watching LeBron's shorts and stuff. Like, can't be.
Oh man.
All right,
you're probably right.
All right. So speaking of LeBron, what are your guys' thoughts on Clutch Sports signing Trae Young and Anthony Edwards?
I don't give a damn about Anthony Edwards, but
tampering.
Trae Young.
Yeah, that's big.
Shut up, Hanky. Ain't no tampering.
Now, do we think there's going to be a big three with LeBron, AD, and Trae?
No. That's not going to happen. I don't see that happening.
Wishful thinking, but I don't see it happening either.
What I see happening is Trae coming over to LA when LeBron retires, so that Anthony and Trae could restart the franchise without LeBron. But I don't see LeBron and Trae playing together.
That would be great,
wrong, but I just don't see it.
I mean, I don't see it happening.
I'm not in Atlanta like fix this, but I feel like Trae Young seems to be a guy who like wants to have his own team. Like he wants to be the guy that wants to lead wherever he goes to like success. He doesn't seem like a guy that's just gonna, once his contract ends up, he's just gonna hop on to somebody else's team. Like
right, and he's young too. Like he's too young to be ring chasing. You know what I mean? Like I would understand if Dame was like, you know what, I've had my fun as the Lone Ranger. You know, I've had my times, my battles with Westbrook. I'm a mature veteran player now. I want to make a push for that championship. It would make sense for Dame to turn around and be like, all right, I'm going to LA. Me and LeBron, let's get this thing done, bro. It makes sense for Chris Paul to say, I'm going to LA, let's get this thing done. Trae Young just got here. Like, what? Have you earned your stripes yet? Have you gone through the ringer to say, I've proven that I can get my team into the playoffs. I can get them past the first round, but I just need that little bit more to get the ring. No, you have not. You just walked in the door, you know, take time, bro. Like, earn your keep. Earn your keep. At least with Kyrie, when LeBron came back to Cleveland, you know, I mean, you can't really say Kyrie earned anything just yet, but at least he was like, I've been running this team. I need help. Let's make it happen. LeBron came back home. It was different. Trey going to the Lakers right now just doesn't make sense. It doesn't look right to me. And not everybody that's signed with Clutch Sports plays with LeBron. So let's not get too aroused by the idea that he signed with LeBron's agent. Like, just relax for now.
All right.
Take it down.
You can blame Anthony
Davis for that. LeBron might actually just be trying to get hair advice from Trey. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow. You brought that up, really, of all people.
Wow.
Yeah. I'd be asking Trey for some hair products, you know?
Wow.
Oh, my God. We're going to have to delete this episode.
All right, we got demonetized.
Like, hey, man,
I never thought I'd see the day.
Listen, I don't think his hair has anything to do with his basketball. So
No, that's true. That's true.
He's still the greatest of all time. Still the best player on the court. He's still the best player in the world. But he needs to do something with that stuff.
No, I wish the hair on his head could grow like the hair on his face. I know y'all saw those videos recently. The motherfucker looking like Moses out there.
Yo, nigga look like Tom Hanks in Castaway, bro. Nigga look like he just saw the light. Like, it's confusing as hell, bro.
He's gonna be carrying a basketball named Wilson with Wilson sponsor on it.
Nigga, Wilson about to get us his ring. Shit.
Y'all remember that insurance commercial where they was like, it's so easy even the caveman could do it?
Yeah.
That's what LeBron looked like. He looked like the caveman. Looked like he about to revamp the commercial.
Listen, as long as he could ball, I don't give a damn, nigga. Shit.
That's it. Like, yo, do what you gotta do, bro. Hey, man, look.
It's LeBron's caveman form.
If you gotta look like Kimbo Slice and win a championship, then do that. I'm okay with that.
Do it.
Even if it means you gotta go in the backyard and start knocking niggas out, okay, fine. But come back and win this ring, bro. Let's do that.
Let's get some Justerman beard on there.
Listen, bro. Let me stop. I'm out.
You started this. You brought this on yourself.
I'm out, man. I'm a LeBron fan. I'm done. Let me cut. LeBron, hey, look, LeBron. I live in Scarborough, Ontario, Canada. Come, let me give you a cut, my guy. Let me shape you up, man.
Yeah, let me just tag LeBron in the description.
Yeah, hey, and look, hey, no disrespect, King. You gotta do what you gotta do. Send Bronny, send Bryce. You know, let me get the whole family lined up. All right, let's do that.
In return, you got to do a TikTok.
Yeah, that's how you get it.
Oh yeah! Right. Shout out to Jace Cuts. Let's get it.
All right, fellas. Main topic for today is the all-time category. Let's go top 3. We got scoring, passing, rebounder, best top shooter, dunker, and all around. Let's go with scoring first. Let's go, Panks. Who is your 3-1 top scorer of all time?
Like, is this like based on like actual numbers or like who like we would pick in like a 3-on-3 kind of a thing?
No, just overall.
Man,
like,
just pick who you think is the best scorer in the league.
All right, calm down. All right. Jesus Christ.
Go 3-1.
Number one. Well, okay. Number one, I go Jordan. Number 2, I'll go with Kareem because he has the most unstoppable shot ever. Number 3, I'm gonna go with KD because there's few people that could deal with a 7-foot guy that could shoot from outside like that when he's on his game like that.
Coronavirus.
I'm not in Brooklyn. I'm all good. I'm good.
All right, Figs, you're up. Who you got?
1, Kobe. 2, Jordan. 3, Wilt.
Lame.
All right, Jay, who you got?
One, I got Kareem. No secret that he leads the league in points. He's the best scorer we've ever seen. Two, Kobe. I would put Jordan in there, but Kobe actually did the same thing Jordan did, just a little bit better because he could shoot better. And three, now this one is a bit of a hot take, but I think there was a series in time when this dude could just score from any which way. Carmelo Anthony.
Wow.
He's one of the best scorers we've seen in recent NBA history. Like his scoring.
That's not too much of a hot take. That's not too much of like Melo is, like you said, that man scoring. Oh my God. Yeah.
Overall, trash. Like he couldn't play. Like he couldn't lead a team. But there was a point in time where when it came down to scoring, Melo was better than LeBron. He was better than Kobe. Better than Tracy. Like Melo was a scoring champion, bro. And hey.
I'll actually say he's a better scorer than Kevin Durant, in my opinion, because Kevin Durant has no post game. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Melo can take you inside. He can take you
mid-range,
outside. Yeah.
That mid-range post game that Melo had, man, listen, Melo was doing it in like the mid from like 2008 to 2013, like that window right there.
Yeah.
Hoodie Melo life, jeez. He was doing it, bro.
Yeah.
Back when Melo and Steve Novak was a 1-2 punch.
Oh my God.
I said Steve Novak.
Moving
on. All right. So my number one, I got Kobe being top scorer ever, followed by MJ, and this will be a good one. I got Tracy at number 3.
I like that. I like that.
Team-back attack.
Who do you know can bring a team back and just shoot a barrage of threes in like, was that a minute or 90 seconds?
Bro, that's still the most incredible thing I've ever seen, bro. Like Kobe's 81 is a close second.
Reggie Miller did 11 and 33, no?
Listen, Reggie Miller was playing the Knicks. We're not counting that shit. All right.
Figgy, lift up your sleeve right quick.
But that's like the best Knicks team since like the championship Knicks team.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you breaking up.
But then again,
right quick, bro.
I can't hear you.
All right, we're gonna move on to.
For those who have not understood the joke yet, Figgy got a big ass Knicks tattoo on his arm. He got a Knicks. Don't let him fool you. Figgy's a Knicks diehard.
Go back and watch the first couple episodes. You'll see it. I ain't lifting up shit.
Neither are the Knicks.
That's
Oh my God. Yo, what's the next one, bro?
All right, the next one is the best passer of all time. Jay, we'll swing it to you.
Okay, I will go top 3, and I'm actually gonna give you a tie for number 3. But first, Steve Nash. Second, Pistol Pete Maravich. Third, I'm actually say tie between Jason Kidd and Jason Williams. My top
I like that list.
I would say LeBron James is one of the best passers in the history of the game. And also, of course, everyone's gonna be like, what about John Stockton? Okay, but John Stockton passed to the same dude over and over and over again. John Stockton and Karl Malone were just crazy. Whereas with the guys that I picked, their main purpose was passing. LeBron's main purpose isn't passing; he's just perfected it. But those guys, like they like initiated passes that we just never even thought about. Now, probably people are gonna think about Magic Johnson, but I'm okay. Pistol Pete Maravich, Steve Nash, Jason,
you're
and the two
okay.
Jasons, Williams and Kidd.
I don't think you're okay. I think you need to check your temperature. You just gonna leave Magic
That's
off your list?
That's fine. I think he's top 5, but you got to think too. Like Magic Johnson played Showtime Lakers, right? Who did Steve Nash played with Stat and Sean Marion?
Steve Nash played with Ari Stoudemire, who they had the best pick and roll in the NBA for like the whole time they played.
Right. I'm not saying they were bad or anything. I'm just saying they played like fundamental detail ball, whereas Magic did like unnecessary shit. Like Magic did come on, man, just pass the ball. You know what I'm saying? Pistol Pete Maravich did shit that we had never seen before. If you look at Pistol Pete Maravich highlights and then look at Magic Johnson highlights, you might see some things that look pretty similar.
But bro, he was playing against niggas that my high school team was better than, bro. Like I don't want to hear about no damn Pistol Pete.
It don't matter. It don't niggas that were trash. So he was the innovator. He was very innovative. So you talk about who's good at passing.
Pistol Pete was playing against Christoph, bro. Like I don't want to hear this shit.
All right. First of all, what we're not gonna do is we're not gonna damage the sanctity of this show. Bringing up old shit. That's the first thing we're not gonna do. Second thing we're not gonna do is disrespect a late great legend like Pistol Pete Maravich. So before I have to come over there and cut your dreads in your sleep, somebody else take up the reins before me and figure the problem out here. Right.
Y'all see this Tupac picture behind me? I'm on some bullshit today. I'm talking shit.
All right, Figs. Tell us who your top 3 is.
Magic is 1. Jason Kidd is 2. LeBron is 3. And the reason I put LeBron 3, come on, bro. Like, he's the first player in NBA history to have 30,000 points, 9,000 assists. The first player to ever do that, 30,000 points or 9,000 assists. You know what I mean? Like Jermaine said, guys like John Stockton, I mean, he's cool. You know what I mean? But it's like you passing to Karl Malone. I mean, don't get me wrong. He was a good passer, but there was really nothing flashy about, you know what I mean, John Stockton's passing. The close fourth, I would probably put Jason Williams. But, yeah, LeBron is one of the best passers I've ever seen. The only 2 people that are better passers than him, in my opinion, are Jason Kidd and Magic Johnson.
All right, Panky, who you got?
I've got number 3, Jason Kidd. Number 2, Magic, and Canadian bias here. Number 1, Steve Nash.
Yep.
I'm glad you prefaced that with the Canadian bias, so everybody knows. Mind you, I picked Steve Nash too, but I just wanted to make sure. Mine is not a bias because I hate Canadian basketball. Let me put that out there very clearly. That's right. Silent. I like that.
Never hoops
in
Scarborough again.
It's nothing new. And remember, if you want to find Jermaine, he lives in Scarborough, Ontario, Canada. So
come at me. What's up? Come at me. Let's go.
All right, we're gonna have to cut that clip out.
Yeah, that was. Well, it was nice doing this while it lasted.
All right, so my top 3, I got Nash at 1, I got Jay Will at 2, and I got Magic at 3.
All right.
Yeah, Jay Will. That's a good one.
Good. That's a good consistency. Good consistency.
Yeah. All the Canadians picked Nash. Great consistency. Good.
Hey,
listen, man, who's the one trying to get citizenship right now?
You're right. You're right. I'll just call Drake. He'll give me a birthday. Yeah.
He's probably swimming out.
He ain't gonna do a damn thing for you, bro.
Drake is probably outside right now in his swimming pool, just lounging.
Exactly.
Call the Weekend, bro. He's from Pickering. Call the Weekend. He's from Pickering. He'll help.
Yeah. I call him too. What's his name? Abel.
Talk to Corey Joseph. He's from Pickering too.
Oh no,
they're from my end.
I ain't calling them.
Call anyone that is not from Brampton, Ontario.
Facts.
Don't call Tristan Thompson.
Don't call Tristan. Don't call Tristan. No, leave Tristan alone. Don't call Andrew Wiggins neither. He from the West.
Listen, I ain't calling nobody that mess with no Kardashian. So y'all good. I ain't doing it.
All right.
Like I said, Tupac is behind me. Man. I'm talking shit today. Man, go ahead.
All right, we got rebounders next. Top rebounder of all time. Figs, over to you.
Wilt, number 1. Number 2, I'll probably go with Bill Russell.
Are you out of your mind?
I think you need to look up Bill Russell's stats. Yeah.
Who's your number 3?
Dennis Rodman.
This nigga put Rodman third.
Bro, this guy.
Rodman is the only dude that had like 2 points and 30 rebounds a game.
We talking about rebounds, bro. Like Wilt Chamberlain. Who's a better rebounder than Wilt Chamberlain?
Hold on. How tall is Dennis Rodman? Somebody pull it up. 6'9", 6'10"?
6'9", yeah.
Takashi.
Dennis Rodman was literally there to get boards. That was his only job. get rebounds, and change your hair color. That was it.
Yeah.
Untie niggas' shoes every now and then.
And Will Chamberlain's only job was, I mean, not Will Chamberlain, Bill Russell had the same job, play defense and get rebounds. That's all he did. He wasn't a scorer.
That was not his only job. Bill Russell was there. Bill Russell put up numbers.
What numbers? What numbers?
He was the focal point. He was the focal point of the offense.
Bro,
just because he didn't score all the points.
Bill Russell is the most mediocre offensive player in the top 10. Like in anybody's top, if you put him in your top 10, he's the most mediocre offensive player there. That motherfucker does not play no offense.
Oh, you're about to get the heat for that shit. Oh my God, yo, bro.
Bro. What?
Nah.
Hold on. No. Hold on. What offensive skill set does Bill Russell have? Please tell me. Please. Let's do this. Pac, I see you, brother. What offensive skill set does Bill Russell have? What does he do? My nigga Tyson Chandler got a better offensive skill set than Bill Russell. Yes. I said it.
I'm out. I gotta go.
This nigga was playing. He was playing against the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Kareem.
Did you just say what I think you just said?
Bro, he played against the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. No. I'm sorry. Listen, Bill Russell is one of the best defenders ever. I'll give him that. He's one of the best rebounders ever. I'll give him that. But offensively, the man was mediocre. What did he do?
All right, let's just say that Warren has 3 children and Warren is tired and Warren lives in Atlanta, so Warren is stressed out. That might be leading to the nonsense that he's talking right now. Panky, can you give us your top 3, please? Because right now my heart is palpitating. I don't like this feeling. I don't like this. I've never struggled with angina before, but right now I'm feeling it. So let's just move on, please. Panky, what you got, bro? You said Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Man's out here playing against
Tommy and Kimberly, bro.
Not even Tommy. Tommy, he wasn't even there. That's Tommy's too real for that.
Get out. Peggy, what you got, bro? I'm weak, bro. I'm weak.
All right. Okay. As far as mine, I'll go number 3. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Timothy Duncan, because this my list is based on who do I trust the most in getting a rebound. So Duncan would be number 3, because the man just technical, with the big fundamental.
Hold on.
I trust.
Real quick. I don't mean to cut you off, bro.
Here we go.
Apparently, Popovich didn't trust him enough in Game 6 because he wasn't in there to get the rebound against Chris Bosh when Ray Allen hit that.
Shut up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shut up, bro. God damn.
Man, you're still on the 4th of July celebration stuff, aren't you? My God.
That's the thing. It's the 4th of July over there. You on your bullshit right now.
First of all, I don't celebrate that shit. I celebrate Juneteenth. It's the Hennessy. That's what it is. The Hennessy. I'm still feeling that shit from last.
Oh no, he was celebrating Canada Day.
Oh right, yeah, that's right. Sorry.
Pretty much.
Okay, so 3 Timothy Duncan. Number 2, I'm gonna go with Wilt, and number 1, I'm gonna go Rodman.
Okay.
Music. I'm not even gonna say mine because they're the exact same as Panky's for the exact same reasons. Thank you, sir. Move on. Phil, what you got?
All right, so I got Rodman at number 1.
Yeah.
I have Timberwolves Kevin Love at number 2.
Wow.
I like that. Yes.
And I got Wilt at number 3.
Sick of your shit, my guy. Anybody who's watching, tell Fish to go take a bath, bro.
That's a lot of That's a lot of garbage time rebounds for Kevin Love. I don't know.
It's fine. K-Love is top 5 for sure. I wouldn't have put him at second, but he's top 5. I'll take that.
Wow.
And he has an offensive skill set. Fig.
At one point, he was averaging almost 20 and 20.
Top 5 is a stretch. I don't know.
Wasn't he averaging like 25 and 12 at some point? K-Love?
Yo,
way
Phil,
more.
What's in that bottle? Phil, what's in that bottle? What is in your bottle, sir?
I can neither confirm nor deny the contents of this bottle.
Philly talking about I did not have liquido relations with that Johnny Black.
I seen you pick up that bottle a little
man.
too much, bro. Now you want to talk about Kevin Love?
Yo, it's hot, and I got the air condition on.
Love.
Yo, let that boy live,
Fucking
bro.
Soldier Boy.
Timberwolves
Let
Kevin
that boy
Love,
live. Let that boy live.
not Cleveland Kevin Love, because
Not Kevin Love. Kevin Love.
Because
Not
Cleveland-
not Kevin.
Yeah.
because Cavs Kevin Love couldn't even catch rebound their shot glass. Moving on.
Nails it.
All right, so top three shooters of all time.
That's the,
Yikes. Dylan, and Dylan.
he spits hot fire.
You spit hot fire. Nah,
All right.
I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna go. Honestly, I can't rank them because I think they all had their own wave. But my top three is Ray, Steph, and Reggie.
Oh, that's gonna set
think-
things off.
I don't give a damn what sets things off. At this point, Figgy's on some shit that I cannot co-sign. Okay, at this point, this. For anybody who don't know, me and Fig is family. That's my cousin right there. But this is the most I've ever disagreed with family in life. I don't know what Warren has been drinking. I don't know what he's been smoking. But like, this nigga said Bill Russell doesn't have an offensive skill set. I can't.
He doesn't though. It's cool.
Whatever, nigga. I think Ray Allen is the most clutch. I think Steph Curry is the smoothest and the most explosive. And I think Reggie Miller was the most consistent in a sense that like that was the only thing he was known for as far as I'm concerned. And he did it well. Like some people forget that Ray Allen was in the dunk contest. Like Ray Allen had a lot going for him other than the 3-point shot, but he made his money off of the 3-point shot. So
Yeah.
you know, Steph, his handles are incredible, but like that 3-point shot is crazy. So it's hard for me to rank them 1 to 3, but they're in that cloud of 1 to 3. I just don't know exactly where to put them.
All right, so for me, number
Clay
three.
is a close fourth.
3, I got Clay. 2, I got Ray. 1, I got Steph.
Gonna leave Reggie out, huh? This don't work for you. This don't mean nothing to you, bro.
I'm not an
Warren,
expert.
this means something to you, right?
Yeah,
Real
that
Figgy,
means
this means something to you, though, right?
yeah, that's what Reggie did in the finals.
Wow.
That means to me.
This is what he did. This is what he did to your Knicks, bro.
That's cool.
But
That's all right.
Clay's guaranteed to average 5 or 6 3-pointers a game with 2 or 3 dribbles.
I respect it. I respect it.
I respect the list. I do.
Listen, mine is actually the same. I got Steph 1, Ray 2, Clay 3. Now, here's the thing I'll say about Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson is the second option for most of the time in Golden State. When KD was there, he was the third option, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so as the third option, he averaged the same amount of points per game as Reggie Miller was averaging as the first option.
Stop this.
No, I'm serious. Like, and this is not a knock on Reggie Miller. It's not a
but
knock.
you gotta look at the way the game is being played.
Yeah.
Now basketball is all about artillery, just firepower everywhere, right? They take more 3-point shots. Like Steph Curry averages the same amount of 3-point shots as teams did in the 90s. The whole team.
Bro, that's all Reggie Miller did.
Curry,
That's all Reggie Miller did.
that's fine, but he was one of the only people to do it though. So even when he was doing it, it was uncommon, right?
But
now
that's still all he did.
That doesn't matter. Now to be considered a good basketball player, you have to be able to shoot the three. You have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Michael Jordan was not a great 3-point shooter. He just wasn't. But he's considered the greatest of all time in many circles. Not here because we are educated gentlemen. So now you got to look at Clay. Steph is taking 10 threes. KD is taking 8. And Clay is taking 7. Reggie Miller took 7. Reggie and Clay, yeah, they're taking the same amount of threes, bro. Like, you can't just be like, like the era has changed. The era has changed. You got to remember, at one point, they didn't even have the 3-point line. So we can't even look at guys like Jerry West and be like, well, maybe he was the best 3-point shooter. We have no idea.
Listen, bro, we're talking
You know
about
what
the
I'm
top
saying? Like, you just
3
gotta look.
shooters. This is what we talk about. We talk about the top 3 shooters. In my opinion, you cannot be the third option. I'm averaging the same thing that this motherfucker averaged as the first option and be over him. No. Like,
Okay,
like,
then tell me this. Tell me this. When we talk about top offenses in the league, right, in the history of basketball, would you put the Houston Rockets over the '96 Bulls because that team averages more points?
No.
Then your argument completely invalid.
No, it doesn't.
Because what I'm saying to you is the fact that they score more points, they pull up more shots, doesn't make them better. It's just the way the game has changed.
Bro. We're not. Here's the thing. We're not talking about no team. We're talking about Reggie Miller and Klay Thompson. All Reggie Miller did was shoot threes. He didn't do nothing else. All he did was shoot threes. We just spoke about Ray Allen and how he could dunk and he could do all types of other shit. Ray Allen played, defense. He did everything. Steph Curry can shoot threes, but he could also take you to the rack. He could also break your ankles. All that nigga Reggie did was shoot threes. You understand what I'm saying?
You know who you sound like? Y'all ever see the movie Barbershop with Cedric, Dean, and Tanner and Ice Cube? Remember he was in the shop and they was talking about Rosa Parks and Cedric like, Rosa Parks ain't do nothing but sit her back ass down. That's what you sound like right now.
Yes.
Reggie Miller ain't do nothing but shoot goddamn threes. Shut up, punk.
It's true.
Somebody else. I'm sick of this nigga, man.
Nah, we ain't moving on.
I'm sick of this nigga, man.
We ain't moving on, nigga. I'm Tupac today, not you, nigga. Sit your ass
I'm
down.
sick of this kid,
All right.
bro.
All right,
Don't get the cookies from the top shelf, my guy.
It's real. Like, why is a guy that's a first option averaging the same thing as a third option? You know what I mean? That's my whole thing. And then I understand what you're saying. Yes, NBA, everybody shoots threes now. That's cool. Name another person in today's NBA that put up 37 points in one quarter. Name somebody else that did that. Hold on, no. Who has the record? Who holds the record right now for most threes in a game all time? Who holds the record right now for most threes in a game all time? Klay Thompson.
Can somebody tell me what time it is, please? I have a job to get to.
Who? Klay Thompson.
I'm not saying Klay is not a good pick. Like I said, Klay for me, close fourth. He's a close fourth. And James Harden is a close fifth.
I'm just telling you why he's better than
Reggie. Reggie, Klay, and James. That's my pick.
So,
but to discredit Reggie Miller because of that, I don't think that's fair.
I didn't discredit Reggie Miller. I didn't discredit him.
You were discrediting Reggie Miller. Thank you, Curtis. Thank you. You were discrediting Reggie Miller.
How did I discredit him by saying, "Oh, we can sit here and talk about this shit."
Reggie Miller ain't shit. Reggie Miller, that's right. Shut up.
When did I? Hold on. When did I say he wasn't shit? When did I say he wasn't shit?
Hey, yo, Phil. When you edit this, I want you to, right as he said, when did I say he wasn't shit? I want you to go back, take a snippet of the moment when he was talking all that trash about Reggie, and then put it into the spot right here.
All I said.
Moment of silence. Perfect. Thank you.
If we're saying Reggie shouldn't be in the top 3 because he only shot threes, then we should take Karl Korver off that list as well.
See, you guys are not understanding me. Y'all not understanding me. I never said anything about him not being in the top 3 because all he does is shoot threes. I said Klay Thompson was never the first option on his team, and he averages the same amount of points per game as somebody that was the first option for his entire career. That's what I said. I never
because in the era that Klay Thompson plays, the third option takes as many shots as the first option in Reggie Miller's era. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. I'm not saying that Klay is not better than Reggie.
Hold on.
That's your point. That's
cool.
Fine.
Go find another third option in the NBA right now. Go find another third option in the NBA right now that averages the same thing that Klay Thompson averages, and then we'll have.
But we're not talking about them. Klay Thompson is valid in his top 5 positioning. What I'm saying
is, your argument is null and void because there's no other shooter that's a third option in the NBA today that averages the same thing that Klay Thompson averages. So your argument is null and void.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me. All right. Let's hook on phonics this thing. Let's put the pieces together. I said Klay Thompson is a close fourth, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just before I said my list.
Okay, perfect. I did say he is a close fourth. agree, and the audience will agree because they will have
Three
heard
out of four don't
You were
agree because Phil.
Hold on. You don't know what I'm saying yet. You
Phil
being real
chose Clay
scandalous
as
right
number
now, my
3.
nigga.
Phil chose Clay as number 3. So 3 out of 4 don't agree because Phil chose Clay as number 3.
No. What I'm about to say is they will agree that you were attempting to discredit Reggie Miller in place of Klay Thompson because that's all he does.
That's
Well,
not what I
let's
was
be honest
saying.
here.
You see, you guys still not understanding me. That's not the point that I was trying to make. I said it 3
Alright,
times.
look, man.
Y'all still not understanding me.
Okay,
No,
alright,
hold on.
You
I'm
think
gonna say it.
Do you think Reggie's top 5?
I'm gonna say it one more time for you. I'm gonna say it slow this time so that y'all can get it. Okay? All right?
Wait, Jay,
I'ma say
turn
it
up
slow
the
this
volume in
time.
your car so you can hear it.
Because I never tried to discredit this man. I never said he was trash. I never said any of that. What I said is the reason I'm putting Clay over Reggie Miller is because Clay is a third option and he averaged the same thing that Reggie Miller averaged as a first option. Klay Thompson holds the record all time for most threes in a game. Klay Thompson holds that. Klay Thompson is one of the only players in the NBA. He might be the only player to ever do it. 37 points in a quarter. Who else did that? I never said Reggie was trash. That's what I said. I never tried to discredit him. That's what I said.
I bet.
Cool.
I bet.
Thank
We're
you.
gonna
Who's in your
rewind and
top
we're
3?
gonna double check. We're gonna double check. Go ahead, thanks.
Thank you.
So my top 3 is the same as Jermaine's. I think those are the three guys. Clay is 4th, and then Dirk is 5 for me.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
Clay's a close 4th. He's right there. He's right. Anyway, moving on. Phil, what you got?
I already said mine. Figs.
He already said his. He already said it.
Yo.
Oh, you said it. All right,
Yeah.
bet. We good.
The argument is
let's go on. I
discombobulated.
got shit to do. I got 4 minutes.
Okay.
Let's go, man.
Okay. So wait, hold on. So the most points in a single quarter, I have the top. What is it? 4, 5 here. Okay. So Clay is 1, 37.
Yeah.
Anyone want to take a guess as to who number 2 was?
Man, do I look like I got time to play Blue's Clues with y'all?
All right.
Let's just read out the names, please.
Kevin Love, 34 points.
Okay.
Number 3.
Go ahead.
I was not expecting that.
I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that either.
This was in 2016. So this is Cleveland. This is Cleveland. Kevin Love.
Oh, I remember that game. He was lights out that night. I remember that actually. It was in the second quarter he was going off?
Yes, I think so.
Number 3.
I remember that game. That was
No, sorry. 34 points in the opening 12 minutes.
Yeah, I remember. And then he got benched.
I think so, something like that.
I remember that. I remember he was wilding, bro.
So number 3 is a tie between George Gervin and Carmelo Anthony, 33 points.
Mm.
What up? And Melo.
Number 4, David Thompson, 32 points.
See that?
And number 5 is Wilt, 31.
Not bad.
Mm.
Not a bad list. All right.
That's a good
We're
list.
gonna run through the last 2 quickly. This one is gonna be probably quick. Top 3 dunkers of all time. I'll start off. I got Vince, I got MJ, and I got Gerald Green.
This is gonna be a problem.
Gerald Green. Oh, that's interesting.
This is gonna be a problem. Okay. Vince.
We like problems on this show. Go ahead.
Yeah, apparently.
Yes.
Vince is number 1. Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon are tied for number 2.
Okay.
I can't.
I'll give that a 9.
I'm gonna say. I want to say. Whatever, man. Shut up. And Jay Rich is number 3.
That's a good answer right there.
There ain't no arguments there. There's no arguments there.
I can't put MJ in there. As much as I love Michael Jordan, I can't put LeBron. I don't honestly. The one thing I will say against LeBron, where he is my favorite player, he is the greatest for me, but I don't think his dunking creativity is worthy of the top 10.
No, he has a set repertoire of dunks that he goes with.
Yeah,
LeBron has a good 6 dunks that are incredible, but like Vince Carter had like a good 38,000 dunks that all look different.
Yeah.
Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon, like they revitalized the whole dunk contest in general. Like some people say Blake Griffin. Man, listen, Blake Griffin didn't jump over no damn car. He jumped over the front quarter panel of somebody convertible. Get out of my face.
I mean, that's true, but we talking in-game dunkers though. We ain't talking about.
I know. I'm just saying though. Like, it wasn't even like he's not that. And the only reason people even put Blake in the top 10 is because he posterized a lot of dudes. But that's not really creative. We're like Joe Green in game went up, grabbed the alley-oop, looked down into the rim, then windmilled it anyway. Like that's like different. That's different. Mind
Also
you, I
did the
think Zach
cupcake
and Aaron Gordon are just crazy.
All right,
Moving
Fix,
on.
who you got?
Moving on.
I got Vince 1. I'll probably put Zach LaVine 2, and I'll probably put Jason Richardson 3. Honestly, yeah, Jordan is probably like number 5 or 6.
Back in accordance. Me and my man. Welcome back to the family, friend.
Oh man.
All right, thanks. Who you got?
All right. Honorable mention, the good doctor, Dr. J.
Dr. J, what up?
That's my number 4 / honorable mention. Number 3, Jason Richardson. I have an old school Jason Richardson jersey. I was a big fan of his when Golden State used to be cool and you can actually like them. Number 2, this is I guess maybe it's a bit out of left field, but it makes sense. Number 2, Sean Kemp.
Okay.
Because
like it.
because the man was a freight train and would just destroy your soul if you tried to beat him at the rim.
I like it.
And then number one's Vince.
Yeah, that
like that's
goes without
yeah,
being said. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
All right.
you know what I think we got to consider is like you look at somebody like Vince Carter. Is Tracy McGrady a better dunker than Vince? No. Tracy McGrady was a great dunker, but he was like the way I look at him and other guys in that category is the same as I look at Kobe and Jordan. Like I'm not gonna put Kobe and Jordan on the same list simply because they're one and the same. Vince and T-Mac were like one and the same for me. Vince was just better. Jay Rich and Desmond Mason were like one and the same. Jay Rich was just better. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't put other dudes like Blake Griffin and nothing because Sean Kemp is just better.
Listen, I don't think there's anybody in the same stratosphere as Vince Carter when it comes.
Do you guys have a favorite Vince dunk?
I just mean they're on the same planet. They just, he just.
Yeah.
Favorite Vince Carter dunk. Favorite Vince Carter dunk behind the back, goes upstairs, bodies Alonzo Mourning at the rim, and then still cocks it back. That's my favorite Vince Carter.
That's a good one.
Jumping over the Frenchman.
Vince had too many, bro.
Yeah, Vince got way too many.
Mine's the one was against the Clippers where where he got the alley oop and had to like reach all the way back and he was like and he was so far. He was like so far off the rim to begin with, and just like, oh my god,
that camera angle was crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
that was great timing on that one.
All right,
what's the last one? Let's get
last one is the top 3 all-around players of all time.
Oh god.
All right, let me set it off. I got Kobe, number 1. I got MJ, number 2. I got LeBron, 3.
Bruh, hold on. I'm sorry. Yo, Pop, we need you again, my nigga. We need you. Hold on.
What kind of shit am I listening to?
What the fuck is in that bottle, bro? Like, I need an answer. I need an answer.
Kobe Bryant is your number 1 overall.
Bruh.
You know, Kobe Bryant's family, we all love Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
But this nigga Phil is on another wavelength. I'm sorry, he's not.
Nigga, I'm a fan of Kobe, but yeah, that's a little.
Sorry, he's not.
Yeah.
Warren, please talk to this man. What's your top 3, bro?
Listen, we talking about all around basketball.
Basketball.
LeBron is easily number 1. There's no debate there. Yep. Number 2, I'd probably go Magic Johnson.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
And I know it's a little soon, and I'm gonna get backlash for this. But number 3, I'll go Giannis.
No,
I'll go Giannis.
Just beautiful. Just beautiful work. Beautiful work.
Don't get me wrong. Kobe Bryant is the man. Like he's, and in my opinion, I've said this in previous episodes. I think Kobe is the second best player of all time. You know what
Kobe
I mean?
Bryant's the best offensive all around, sure, but
Yeah.
like when it comes to like playing amazing defense at any position on the court, 1 to 5, when it comes to being a rebounding machine, when it comes to having Kobe Bryant is famous for not passing. That's an integral part of the game. How can he be the best overall player when he doesn't do an integral part of the game? No, sir.
As a Kobe fan, I can't
right.
argue with that.
He best offensive skill set, sure. Can't pass the ball. Not the best overall. LeBron James is number 1. Magic Johnson is number 2. I like Giannis at number 3, but I still have to reel it back and say Michael Jordan at number 3.
I'm not mad at that.
Giannis is not quite there for me just yet, but he will get there. I believe he will get there. But LeBron, Magic, Michael. That's my top 3.
Not mad at that.
This nigga said
Thank you. Who do you have?
It's
you know what I feel? You know what I feel like? You remember that Boondocks episode where our granddad shows up at the protest? He's like, "Did you see the thing with the fireworks yet?" And then the dude is like, "This nigga wants to get a mother-loving raincoat." That's how I feel about Philip right now. This nigga got a raincoat on, talking about protest. Get on my face.
What's eating you, man? A goddamn German Shepherd. That's what's eating me.
That's what's eating me. Yo, listen, Peggy, give me your top 3 so I
I
can
got
know
a
about my
poncho in
business.
this drawer right here.
I'm sick of your shit, bro.
Jermaine and I are on the same page again. It's LeBron, Magic, and Jordan. I mean, I like Giannis. Like if I round out like 5, I'll put Giannis. Giannis is either number 4, number 5, and then the other one would be Larry would be in that top 5.
I was just gonna say Larry definitely got to be in your top 5. Yeah,
Larry's up there. Kawhi is up there. Like. And all of those people are before Kobe, so.
Nah, I wouldn't put Kawhi over Kobe. Wouldn't put Kawhi over
I would. Why not? Kawhi plays better defense than Kobe Bryant.
Wouldn't say that.
Kawhi, I wasn't asking you to say that.
I wouldn't say that. No. Listen, you talking about listen, motherfucker. Talking about on-ball defense.
Remember when you guys got along? That was short-lived.
Yeah.
Let's play that clip back. 2 minutes before.
That shit was short-lived as a motherfucker. Listen,
hey, look, man. Let me get over here before 5-0 come and pull up my license plate for driving. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. I know what it is. Ignorant Sports Talks family, much love. I'm gonna catch y'all later.
All right, cheers.
Be safe, man.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, fellas. That was a interesting talk for this episode.
Where the hell was it? I've got one thing. We can talk about this on another episode, but I want to point it out since we're on the basketball wave. Have you heard about the player that committed to Howard University?
Yeah.
What's it? Maker, right?
Maker.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Starts with an M.
I think it's McCord Maker or some shit.
Yeah, McCord Maker. That was crazy. That's huge. A huge story, and like who knows if anybody else is gonna do something similar to him, but like that, I mean, I hope he makes it to the league after like everything like that, because that's such a good story.
Huge. In my opinion, that's right up there with Kaepernick kneeling. Honestly, like it's right up there, because you going to a place like Howard, obviously they're not a Big Ten school or a school that makes that much noise. You know what I mean? So in some aspect, I would say that you're putting your chances of getting drafted high on the line. You know what I mean? Because scouts are not typically, I'm not going to say they're not there, but scouts focus more on the top teams. But if he starts that trend, and let's say all of these players start doing that, then you could see these HBCUs start to become really good teams. And, they could probably make a push for, I ain't gonna say a national championship, but you never know.
Like most of the teams that they're gonna play against in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, I've never really heard before.
Yeah, same here.
Coppin State, Delaware State, Howard, University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, Morgan State, Norfolk State, North Carolina Central University, South Carolina State. Oh, that's a bigger one, but like. Yeah, you're not talking about the cream of the crop as far as legacy, especially because he had offers from Kentucky, I think. Kentucky, UCLA, and Memphis were his I guess other options, top options.
Yeah, that's huge. That's definitely huge. Yeah, it's right up there with Kaepernick kneeling because, like, he took a huge risk. Oh my God, that's a risk. But I respect it. I definitely respect it.
Also, apparently, Howard finished
last
4-29 last year.
And then this year, this year before everything stopped, they were 1-15.
Oh man, well they ain't gonna be that this year. Not with him.
No, they should see a significant boost. There.
Oh yeah, but they're gonna have a winning record if you ask me.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, I'd be surprised they didn't.
All right, so
especially if he convinces anybody that he knows.
Yeah. All right, guys, that was today's episode. It was a fun one. We had family fights.
Oh yeah. Great.
Not disagreements,
be
but
careful with your.
Go ahead.
Be careful with your volume adjustments, everybody, when you're listening to this. Although it'll be too late by the time.
Yeah.
By the time you get this
adjustment volumes, because Jermaine was in a very small bubble. All right, so this has been.
I mean, he usually is, but like.
Yeah, but the car made it worse. And like. All right, so it's been Ignorant Sports Talk. We'll catch you guys next time.